My name is Stephen Mackesy. I'm an alumni of Hazelwood Integrated College and the primary, actually, as well. I'm actually from a mixed marriage, so my mum's Protestant, dad's Catholic, and so the natural choice for them was for me to attend an integrated school, and that's why they chose Hazelwood, because unfortunately whenever I was born it was the only one in North Belfast at the time. And well, me and Paul met through various projects at the college, so we did. The main one that sticks out is the Human Eyes project that we worked on with Grassroots Europe and the Open Society Foundation, and then I've just been called in if there's been anything that it can be put to use for.
That's exactly it. And I'm Paul Caskin, so I had a campaign for the Integrated Education Fund, so this has been my life for the last 22 years, but it's been a real privilege because you're working in an organisation that you can see continual growth and development and expansion. I suppose our mission's very simple. It's to help families like Stephen's families and parents and young people across Northern Ireland who want to access an integrated education and go to school together from across our traditional divide and embrace all the diversity that we have in this society. So,
in the college, the infamous flag riots, whenever the flag was taken down from City Hall, there's an interesting story there where a young person from the unionist background was sent into school with a bunch of union flags. Right. So they were was told by their parent to put them up around the school. Now the young person actually went to the principal at the time and said, like, I don't want to do this. You know, these are my friends. I don't want to do anything that's causing trouble. Was able, within themselves know that they didn't want to cause any tension or divide between themselves, and so you could see that integrated education had an impact on that young person. And so it's small stories like that there where you can see the actual story on the ground, how it's impacting the person individually, to the point where they're able to recognise what's going to cause tension, what's going to cause a divide, and know that there's something that they can actually do as an individual to stop it from happening. And then whenever you multiply that there across all of the individuals who've been through integrated education, then it's a pretty solid backdrop for changing society. It's
really important the point that you're getting across there, Stephen, because integrated schools, they might be safe spaces, but they're challenging spaces as well. You know, I think there's this notion if you go to an integrated school, everybody must think the same way and all love each other and all that sort of a load of nonsense. And in an example that I would have had in Malone College, Integrated College, and serving the west and the south of the city. And around the time of the decade of centenaries, and there was some talk in the school about pupils wanting to wear the Easter lily. And the principal at the time was nervous about that, but he was thinking, well, my God, what's going to happen if our kids go out wearing Easter lilies? And what's going to say? I'm going to have the BBC on the phone to me, and what's going to happen? And actually her response to that was to convene a group of young people from within the college and sat down. And she wasn't directly involved in this conversation. And the young people had a conversation around, when they're wearing the poppies on Remembrance Day, and people decide, they want to wear Easter lilies and this type of stuff. And there was a huge conversation went on between them. And then they went to the principal's office, knocked on the door, and they says, we've made our decision, miss, and we decided if any of the pupils did want to wear an Easter lily, that would be okay, because we're wearing poppies and we think that should be okay as well. And the principal still thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? How am I going to manage this? What am I going to say if the BBC ring me up? And the young person turned round to the principal and says, don't you worry about that, miss, because if anybody rings you up, we'll talk to them. The young people of the college will talk to them and tell them how we reached that decision. And I say that to illustrate the difficulties and the challenges that you can get when you have a single community that represents everybody. There are challenges. It's not easy. And whether it's flag protests or flags and emblems or whatever, these are all the things that an integrated school community has to consider.